So the boys on Amazon Prime. It is starring a bunch of people. I don't know who they are, but they're really good in it. So I mean, take that as consolation, I guess. So yeah, it's on season 3 right now. So it hasn't finished. So once that's finished, we'll go ahead and review that one. But so far, we can just talk about like seasons 1 and 2, and what we think about it so far. I can just say off the break, I love it. I love it. It's twisted, it's sadistic, and to me, in my mind, is if the Justice League really existed, that's exactly what they would be like. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what you think, man? What you think about it?
I think The Boys is everything that I want in an adult superhero show. Um, I can't watch it around like really anybody except like my closest friends because it makes me feel
Yep,
shame of some of the shit that happens in that show. But
yep,
I very much enjoy the show. I like the commentary of like taking the superhero genre and bringing it into the the social media age and dealing with like likes and public icons and retweets and public perception and blah 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 blah. Like other movies have attempted that, with other superhero media, but like this was
yeah,
like one of the first ones that just goes full celebrity with it, and that's kind of the entertainment value of the show. It's The Boys is basically this generation's Watchmen. The critique on the superhero genre for the time that we're living in. We were dealing with the fucking Cold War when Watchmen came out, and now we're dealing with social influencers and all social media influencers and all that. So naturally, the commentary shifts gears, and I fucks with it. And Homelander is the scariest thing I've seen in a very long time. Next to
yeah,
Omni Man.
yeah. Facts. And it's funny what you said, like in the beginning, like you can't watch it around like everybody, because I was watching. I finished season 2 like a couple of days ago, actually, before I started like doing season 3, and yeah, there was a scene when Homelander was getting it on with God, the lightning chick. I can't think of her name.
Stormfront.
Stormfront. I remember like she like took his head and it was just right there, and I'm like, what? I feel like such a degenerate for liking this show, and I feel like something's just wrong with me inside because I like really like this show. It's one of them.
You haven't really lived until you've watched Homelander blow someone up with his like fucking bulletproof sperm. That's just kind of how the boys operates, and you just gotta accept it.
Yeah,
But I don't
yeah.
watch that.
Some of it feels really crude and really kind of just childish, but not. But it also has like really good stuff to say. Like I think season 2 basically was all about like corporate gaslighting, basically. Like that's all it was, and it was. I love how they had that one kid, or not kid, but that one guy who was like completely indoctrinated at some point. Like he woke up and it was like the talking heads on TV was on. He walk in the room, his mom is watching it. He's listening to it like as he's going everywhere, and just got completely indoctrinated and end up like killing some innocent store clerk who was
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, all that hate
yes.
and whatnot. That Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so and I mean, I think that's pretty cool. It's really good to kind of keep like holding up that mirror, kind of to people to show like, yeah, you're being influenced and used, you idiot. Like just wake up, turn that shit off every now and then. You know what I'm saying? But
You see my programs, I'll turn it off.
it's yeah, I just you got to, man. But no, there's a lot of people who just wake up and go straight to Fox News, go straight to MSNBC, CNN. It's like, man, turn that shit off sometimes, bro. Like you being indoctrinated, my guy.
I get my news from Reddit, which is just as bad, but at least them niggas is like entertaining.
I mean, I get mine mostly from Twitter, which is horrible. Like it's horrible. But I mean, it's the kind of the times we live in. And for some reason I trust Twitter more than I do CNN and all that. It's weird. It's weird times we're living in right now. But yeah, I love it for that. I love seeing that aspect of it. And yeah, and I just like seeing like just like people getting torn apart at some point. You know, it's just I feel wrong sometimes for watching this because that's what basically what happens in this show.
I mean, like the first scene of the show was a fucking dude running through a woman, quite literally, and splattering her. So that
And that it's kind of like the catalyst that sets the whole show down this path because you got like the every guy, the every loser, Huey, who you know kind of like for all for all intents and purposes just nuts up and like tries to defend his girl or fight for his girl, you know, and so that's kind of what happened. Then,
realistically, he stands no chance. Like, let's
yeah,
be
no,
honest.
no, no chance at all. Like, no, he's like, man, just work at your. He was working at some like Radio Shack type store or something like some like nerdy gadgety store or something, right?
Kind
So,
of place he would work at.
but
And
then he
this
runs
man,
into Bill. No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was actually about to say what you were saying. Running into Billy Butcher. This man, Billy Butcher, is a fucking force of nature. Like he's the most chaotic thing since the goddamn Joker. Just
Yeah,
Carl Urban kills that role, and I'm not even really familiar with Carl Urban's body of work, but like Jesus, every time he's on screen, he's just like dominating the scene, and it's amazing how psychopathic Billy Butcher is, but how almost like you kind of buy into his craziness, even though you know that this is gonna end in disaster, because he's not a good person, like
no,
at all.
no, no. But you root for him. Like that's the crazy thing. You're rooting for. He is the good guy of the story, though. He's the bad guy, but he's the good guy. He's the guy you're rooting for. He's. It's like fighting fire with fire. In order to take down a group of like just terrible superheroes, you need like one terrible, just loose cannon, you know, to help take them out. You know, that's. But yeah, he's one of the best characters in the show. Ugh.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I low key kind of after he did what he did to Mesmer, like the guy who was, he was selling books or whatever. He saw him in the bathroom and then he just fucking bashed his face in for really no reason because the dude just wanted to see his kid. I was like, oh god, it's like I'm not rooting for Billy anymore. I'm just rooting against the Seven. It's one of those things where I want them niggas gone, but I don't necessarily want Butcher to have control because nobody's safe under this man. He is a fucking psychopath. It's just,
Yeah, and it's like it's the devil you know kind of thing right now, you know, because yeah, with as horrible as he is, Homelander and the rest of them are just like Homelander is like you said, he is kind of terrifying. Like he's a spoiled child with the powers of a god. Like what is more terrifying than that? You know what I'm saying? Like that, yeah. And like we're seeing so many of these stand-ins for Superman, right? That like if Superman existed in the real world, we just saw two of them in the death battle, and there's another one. There's a Hyperion in Marvel.
yeah.
Like yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. You know, it's like this realistic take on the Justice League. If the Justice League really existed in the real world, like yeah, it'd be terrible.
And that dude from that horrible show you had me watch, the Netflix joint.
Why'd you remind me? I completely watched him from my brain. I forgot all about that guy.
No, you will live with that. You will live with your sin. You put me through
What's
it. You'll live
what's
with
his
it.
name? I can't even remember
I
his name.
fucking remember.
Yeah, I see.
Superman, like,
I watched him completely from my brain. But yeah. So I mean, season one. I mean, God, I don't remember every bit of season one, but it's the one that hooked me. And it was you know, all to do with like A.Train, who's like the Flash, and like they're trying to get back at him, but really the Seven, like you know, the Justice League, aka the Seven, and who's the Aquaman guy, the
the
Deep,
deep, the deep.
yeah, yeah, finding out he's a womanizer, he's like pretty much a rapist, right? I think that's what they were kind of.
I mean, yeah, but like so are all of them.
Yeah, to a certain extent. I'm pretty sure all of them has taken or have gone that far, especially Homelander, who like had a baby by Billy the Butcher's wife in the show,
Yeah,
and so you know,
the thing about the deep though, and this might sound like whatever, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The thing about the deep is that I feel like the show may be trying to express how dangerous it is to be ignorant of the own space you occupy. Because with the deep, it's kind of clear to me that he is just a victim of the lifestyle that he's been brought into. Like he genuinely does not know that like what he did was completely out of pocket, and he doesn't really understand why. Because for him, like it's like all we do is drugs and hookers and whatever the fuck we want all day, every day. So like you know, the idea that like I'm not supposed to leverage my position to get some ass, as if I haven't been watching everyone do that my entire career. Probably how we got into the seven. I mean, as the show goes on, and you start to see how Vought treats the soups and what the things they got to do to just to get into the spotlight. And season three goes into a little bit of Starlight's background. It's like it's the deep is not like Homelander was malicious in what he did to Becca, but
yeah,
the deep is just naive, and now he's so far down that rabbit hole. I don't know if he's I don't know if he's able to come out of it because he doesn't have any like solid mentors or anything like that to show him a better path. But I don't think that he's one of those characters that's irredeemable because I think genuinely in better company he would be a better person.
well, they hint towards that in the second season with oh yeah, well, it's supposed to be like the Church of Scientology, but I can't remember the name of that church in season two. But
Oh yeah, what was the name of it? What do they call it?
yeah, I can't even remember. I just know that the main guy liked to drink Fresca, like he was popping Frescas like pills or something. But
I actually like Fresca. I
dude,
appreciate them twisting Fresca like that. I actually like
oh
Fresca.
man, it's the blandest shit, man. Just give me a Sprite. Damn, what is this? Like, don't go halfway. Just give me all the damn sugar and the carbonation. Like, I never did like Fresca.
Church of the Collective. That's what it was called.
Church of the Collective. Yeah, yeah, it's supposed to be Scientology. And so, like, the deep out, like, I kind of thought of him as more like a frat boy or something. You know, like this frat boy that just never grew up, and he got into like, this like the greatest club on earth. And so like he never learned, he never changed, he never grew. He just stayed like some 20-something college student trying to bang all the bang all the other co-eds in there.
And he
But
got his ass kicked out.
yeah, yeah, and then he ended up getting like assaulted. I thought that was funny. It was kind of hokey, but it was funny. Like, oh, now the shoe's gonna be on the other foot. Now some chick's gonna be like all aggressive with you, and you're like side gills or whatever.
Yeah, the real villains in that show is Vought. They treat these people like products and they ruin their lives and they turn them into monsters who then of course then enact injustices against other people because they've been turned into monsters. They don't understand. It's just a perpetual cycle, but at the center of it is corporation, which is just ultimately what the boys is about. It's just how evil corporations are and like
Yeah,
how much control they have and how hopeless it is to try to take them on because there's no face. Like who is Vought? Vought is a fucking building with a whole bunch of people in it, none of which you can call by name, but their reach goes all the way into like their reach. They're in the White House. They're in like the military. They're in other countries. They're playing both sides of the war. Like Homelander snuck uh, Compound V to terrorists around. It's like they're where are you gonna go? You don't know who they are, and there's nowhere you can go where they don't exist. So it's just, of course, everyone under that umbrella just gets corrupted.
yeah. It's almost too real because like I think they're like what Facebook or Microsoft or whoever's like just ultimate like dream, right? To just be like multifaceted. They're making movies, they're making products, they're making like pharmaceutical products. They're like influencing governments. They're like just like you talking about like a super umbrella company, right? And that would be like the absolute worst because they would manipulate everything, like all these big giant corporations do anyway. But like this is more like to the comic book level. Well, say what?
Disney, nigga.
They're not that big yet.
Give it 2 years. I promise we will be getting drugs out of Disney.
We'll be getting Mickey pills.
Yo, it will be sponsored by the mouse. I tell you. You stick that needle in the hilt of the needle gonna have the ears on it, bro. Like, it's just about to be wild.
Yep. You suffer from bipolar? Just take some Goofy pills. It'll perk you right up. And they have like a whole commercial with Goofy just they're popping pills.
It's over, Brad. It's over.
Yeah, that's that Futurama meme. Like I don't want to live on this planet anymore. just get me out.
Guess I'll hop on the spaceship with Elon Musk and hit the Mars. Probably die, but
yeah, not with him. I go to Mars, but not with that nigga. God Almighty, he seemed like the absolute worst. But
he's on trouble on Twitter right now. His daughter's him and his daughter get into an argument because his daughter's trans and apparently she don't want nothing to do with him for reasons they didn't go into. Yeah, it's wild for Musk right now.
Yeah, he seemed like the worst, the absolute worst. But yeah, but I mean, yeah. So it would be like so the main lady of Vought, like she was the CEO or president or whatever. She ends up getting killed at the end and I knew like there's no way like one person is gonna Jedi mind trick like like these super powered beings into like falling in line and following orders. But they kind of do it by like manipulating their public image, talking about like how the public views them, or like how much revenue they're bringing in and stuff like that. And so she gets killed, and then they bring in the ultimate like evil CEO, which is Giancarlo Espinosa, I believe his name is, who he's always, whenever he's in a role, like he's the ultimate evil, like bad dude, like
and he's the same
straight up.
he's been playing Gus Fring since Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it's the same. Even before then, honestly, it's the same. Like well dressed, well spoken, like just sinister, smile in your face, but he's gonna kill you by the time you leave the room. And kind of like evil dude. You know what I'm saying? So
he does his job well.
Yeah, I'm a fan, but like every time I see him, like yeah, okay, yep, he's the evil guy. So yeah, what you think? Season 1, I love it. I can give season 1. I give it a 5, man. Like, yeah, it's the first one that hooked me. Yeah, I love it. 4. Yeah, it's all that. I can see a 4, but now I stick with 5. Because it was a lot of stuff I didn't know I wanted in the show, and it just went. Everything was cranked to 11, like the violence, the sex. The idol worship for good or for ill. Yeah, loved it. Season 2 is probably the one I could give a 4. I think more maybe because it was a little bit more of the same, but they brought in Stormfront, and like they had that weird like Nazi angle, and they leaned in heavy on like the corporate espionage of it, and just the manipulation of media and stuff like that. So like I liked it, but I mean I could give it a 4. I still like season 1 a little bit better. I don't know what you think.
Oh yeah, much better. I give
Yeah.
it a 3 because it took too long for the plot to really start. I wasn't sure what the season was about to be about, and then they got into it around like episode 6.
Yeah, yeah. When they went to that hospital with all the other like superpowered beings, that's when it really kind of like kicked off, you know. And, but yeah, have you started season 3 yet? I haven't started it yet.
I'm caught up currently.
Oh, you are. So
Mhm.
how is it now? What you think?
I think it's better than both of them seasons. I think it's the best so
Okay.
far.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay, I bet. So all right, there we go. The Boys season 1 and 2, and we're gonna catch up with season 3. I think it's only 2 episodes left, right?
If they stick to what they usually do like 8, I think. So we would probably about 3, because I
So
think
about
this
3
week is
left.
going to be episode 6.
Okay, cool, cool. So yep, I haven't watched it, but I'm gonna be catching up on it like next week or maybe next. But yeah, all right. That's a wrap on that one.